got a chance to win the nomination. I think there are 5 or 6 people who have a chance. His challenge is he's created a high floor but a low ceiling. It's sort of hard to grow when you have taken on the habit of excoriating everybody else in the race, calling them losers and clowns and morons, and personally belittling them, because when they leave, like Rick Perry and Scott Walker and Bobby Jindal left, it's sort of hard to pick up them and their people if you're doing that.
Karl Rove on this program mere moments ago saying that Donald Trump could win the Republican nomination, but that he faces some challenges. The Donald continues to dominate national polls in the states. The latest from Quinnipiac shows Trump leading in Iowa, but within the margin of error. You see Ted Cruz right behind him. Against that backdrop, let's welcome in our panel, Skyping in from Paradise Valley, Arizona, Republican strategist and former senior staff advisor to President George W. Bush, Brad Blakeman. And joining me right here on the anchor desk, the managing partner for Cambridge Strategic Partners, and now in a partnership with me, Joy Howell, for a few minutes. Joy served as communications director for Senator Bob Torricelli of New Jersey. Brad, how about it? What about the reality of Trump and the front runner? Can he stay there?
Well, I don't think he can stay there if he doesn't win. And that's the $64 million question, is right now he's ahead in some of these polls or close neck and neck within the margin of error. The question is, can he win? And Iowa is not a predictor of who the nominee is going to be, but New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, and Super Tuesday are. And if Trump doesn't win, then I don't think he can stay in, because he doesn't like to be the skunk of the party and he doesn't like to lose.
So, Joy, you're here as a Democrat. Who do the Democrats fear? Anybody in the Republican field?
Well, there's some great candidates, of course, but Hillary is by far the most well-qualified and experienced candidate in the race. So I think it's going to be a lively contest no matter who has the Republican nomination.
Well, you know, right now she's running behind a whole lot of Republicans. Do you think there's any concern in the Clinton camp about Trump?
Well, I think Mr. Trump is an amazing debater and an amazing communicator. She's a very practiced, more of a legal mind on the debate trail, so I think that she'll be probably warming up on her sound bites.
Well, it's part of it, as we know, in communications. Speaking of sound bites and of ads, it turns out that John Kasich, and we mentioned this earlier in the program too, this new video from the Kasich campaign features an Air Force veteran, in fact, a Vietnam POW, Colonel Tom Rowe, quoting the words of an anti-Nazi theologian during World War II. Listen to this.
You might not care if Donald Trump says Muslims must register with their government, because you're not one. And you might not care if Donald Trump says he's going to round up all the Hispanic immigrants, because you're not one. If he keeps going and he actually becomes president, he might just get around to you. And you better hope that there's someone left to help you.
So, Brad, that's a pretty tough ad. Is that going to create a backlash?
Well, it remains to be seen, but, you know, it reminds me of the adage with the Holocaust that, you know, when they came for them, nobody rose up, but when they came for me, there was nobody left. And Donald Trump has managed to alienate an awful lot of people, and we see that in the general election polling. He's not polling well at all with the general electorate. So the GOP faces a big dilemma. You can select somebody who's totally unelectable, and that's the danger should Trump get the nomination.
You know, Joy, as I sit here and listen to Brad, I'm reminded, even though I was a little guy in 1964, Brad's out in Arizona right now, but I remember what the moderate Republicans were saying about Barry Goldwater. Is the establishment crowd in the Republican Party so intent to take down Trump that it will hurt him if he becomes the eventual nominee?
Well, I think he certainly faces a lot of obstacles. We've seen it on Fox News, the Wall Street Journal, a number of other establishment Republicans who are speaking out against Trump. I think what is dangerous for the Republicans with Trump as the nominee is that it's so easy to run a fear campaign against him in the general. Barry Goldwater, the Daisy ads, to speak to your state. Very easy to, I think, depict him as the man with a very nervous trigger finger.
It has not worked thus far. And Brad, back to you in response. In this day and age, when this kind of stuff starts, I got to tell you, even though Kasich, we work together in Congress, I consider him a friend. This thing, I think, has a serious backlash that may not help the Ohio governor. You get the last word with 30 seconds.
Yeah, well, it may not help Kasich, but it could help hurt Trump. And that's, I think, the reason for the ad is, and you're going to be seeing so many ads now, not from candidates, but from third parties trying to take down Trump. Let's see if it's effective.
And we will have to see. Joy, it is so good to have
Thank
you
you
on set. We hope you'll come back and visit again soon. And we wish you a
to.
happy Thanksgiving. And to my friend Brad Blakeman out in Paradise Valley, Arizona. Brad, I'll be wheels up headed in your direction tomorrow as I get together with family out in Arizona. Thanks so much. When we come back, more with Karl Rove on his new book, The Triumph of William McKinley. Stay with us.